What do you think? Good. All right, good morning, guys. What's happening? It is Thursday morning, May 31st, 2018, and I'm headed into work for the day. Quite some of the advancements since last night, since I last made an entry. I got the replacement hard drive, so it's a 4 terabyte Seagate. This one's a little bit of a different model or something, or it looks different than the other one. I got that last night. I already started loading files onto it and stuff like that. Why I'm concerned is I'm running out of space on my NAS, and the hard drive that I want is over $300 to add more capacity to the NAS. So once I do add that, it should add quite a bit more space to the NAS. I guess what I can do is I have a bunch of change. Maybe I'll cash in all my change or something for like a Amazon gift card or whatever. And then that'll offset the cost or the price of getting the new hard drive. But it's like $320. It's actually on sale. It's cheaper than the last one that I bought. The one that I want is a 10 terabyte Iron Wolf drive. And I already have one of those in my NAS, but the NAS, the way it works is it doesn't unlock like the full size until you have matching paired hard drives. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's like a RAID setup, and it's a proprietary type RAID setup, proprietary to the NAS company. But so that's taken care of. Last night, one of my goals was to start going through my storage locker stuff some more, and but my primary goal was to pick up and clean up the house and get that, she said good morning, and get the house ready for the cleaning lady that's coming tomorrow morning, Friday morning. The deal is that yeah, I spent most of my time picking up and going through that shit, and then part of the process of prepping for the clean lady is I try to get like all the laundry done and stuff, because I like to air dry my shirts and pants and stuff like that. So I usually have like a big drying rack out. So I ran a few loads of laundry last night, put away all of Grant's stuff, put away all of my stuff, and I was running into the problem where I was running out of hangers in my closets. So I was like, you know what, I've had this idea for like a couple weeks now, but I've been wanting to go through my closets and pull out all the old shirts and shit that I don't wear anymore. Like I noticed, like I like choose shirts from like one little section of each closet, and there's like basically like 4 pieces or 4 parts of the closet, like left side, right side, and then I have 2 closets. So I was like, okay, well, like I'm running out of room. Well, I'm running out of hangers, first off. But then the closets are getting jam-packed full of clothes and stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, something's got to give. I'm like, I have shirts in here from like when I was in high school. And I know like that's a dude thing to do and all that, but like, fuck, man. So that's what I did. I went through yesterday. I pulled out probably about 2 feet tall pile worth of clothes to donate, to just get rid of, that I seriously would never wear again. And then I pulled out one of those vacuum seal bags. I pulled out a jumbo vacuum seal bag worth of clothes that I, vacuum sealed and threw in the crawl space. So those are clothes that are still kind of nice or whatever, that I might wear, but might either be too big or just kind of outdated, like my Shutterfest shirts and all that. I'm just not really into that sort of thing anymore. So, wearing the clothes and all that shit. So what I did was I bagged them up, vacuum sealed them, and threw them in the basement. And what I'll do is, if that's going to be one of those things, if I don't touch it for a year and it's sealed up like that, then, after a year or 9 months or something, I'll just fucking dump it, or donate it. But Yeah, so it was something that needed to be done, and I still probably have more to do. I need to get all my clothing organized and kind of like look through all of my shit and get all my pants in one section and all that, because I have a ton of clothes that like I forget that I have because it's all misorganized or whatever. Like I had some t-shirts that I would wear that were stuffed in my like winter wear section of my closet and all that type of stuff. So um, it's gonna take some time to figure all this out and all that. Rochelle made a comment that she has matching hangers in each of her closets or something like that in her house. So like Logan has one color, she has one color, the guest room has another color, and I don't know if I want to go that far, but it would be nice to have all consistent, similar hangers in the closet versus all my mismatched, janky shit or whatever. So that is one of my ideas too, is to change all that out or get it all nice. But like I said, I went through pretty thoroughly the short sleeve closet, or my summer closet, I guess you could call it. Now it's moving on to the long winter clothing closet that I need to kind of figure out. All right, so I got 10 pairs of dress pants. Some of them are fucking worn out like none other. So like let's figure out which ones are the bad pairs and either dump them, or I have like fat clothes, especially for the long sleeve and pants and stuff. So like 36, 38 waist. I found some 38 waist pants, and wow, I don't even remember the last time I was 38-inch waist. So definitely when I was married, probably over 5 years ago. Talk about getting comfortable in a relationship. Holy shit. But yeah, I pulled those out. So the 36s I'll probably save, but 38s, come on, dude. So that freed up, I'm freeing up a ton of space in the closet, so now I can buy new clothes that I would actually enjoy and wear. My old clothing was kind of like, you can tell it wasn't like age appropriate to like now. Like now I'm trying to wear like, nicer stuff, collared shirts and button ups and stuff like that. And all of those were just like t-shirts and like with stupid sayings on them and stuff like that. So it's kind of out with the old, in with the new, or in with the relevant type of situation. So that's kind of where I'm at with everything. So, and that's another reason why I'm pushing and driving to get this storage locker cleared out as well. So it's slow going. It does take a lot of time and a lot of free time, and I don't necessarily have as much during the summer weeks and months, but it's alright. I need to actively work on coming up with like lists and packing lists and shit for vacation. We're leaving a week from tomorrow, and I feel like I'm not fucking ready at all. So, when you're married, this is like the stuff that the chick takes care of. I kind of miss that. I know Grant's mom, she would, that was like part of the vacation, like her fun part. She loved like making all the lists and checking everything and double checking everything, and she'd make sure I was set and she was set. All that stuff. We are going on vacation with Rochelle and her son, and yeah, I see all that in Rochelle. Rochelle's been ready for like a week. She's like, oh, I'll wait until this weekend, you'll be busy, I'll have time to get ready. And then like the next day she's like, yeah, I'm already ready. That was like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just fucking gonna be I'm gonna be the dude that just has like random shit in my fucking in my suitcase or something, and she'll be like, why did you pack a baseball bat and a wiffle ball? I'll be like, well, I don't know. So that's that. I am headed into work now. What else is going on? So I tried out my shield just a little bit, got all my range stuff ready. I'm going to go to the range tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, because I'm going to be off, and I'm going to get out of the house so the cleaning lady and stuff can come in and do her thing and all that type of stuff. But Oh, I rendered my first 4K video last night. And it's going to be a thing. So I did it in Sony Vegas. I think I got Sony Vegas Pro like 13 or something. And, I set up my own custom profile for 4K and all that. And I had about 30 minutes of video footage. So that was 30 minutes on Grant's ceremony day, like his graduation day or whatever. It took, I would say, probably about 2 hours to render the one 30-minute video. And that's on my badass rig with like graphic card acceleration enabled or something. So, I don't know. I do like the quality. I do like the stuff. I'm going to have to figure out, what in the fuck, dude. I don't know. I just, I will say that new camera, the image stabilization is nice too. Like you can see like in the car, like it like floats, whenever I hit bumps and stuff, the camera just absorbs that. This camera is like zoomed right in onto my snooze, and no image stabilization, so it's just whatever my arm can absorb, which isn't much, especially with my elbow resting on the center console. Yeah, so I don't know how in the hell. I guess I could mock everything up on my laptop and then I don't know, mock it up on the laptop and then like render it overnights or something, because if I'm having like 30-minute daily vlogs and stuff, it's gonna take fucking forever to render all that shit. So I'm gonna have to like do it overnight or do it over the weekend or something. Just let the machine just run and run and run. Something else that I've been dealing with that I haven't really talked about. So I keep cutting the video into smaller clips just so I don't talk forever and lose like my entire vlog. So I noticed like Monday night that Rochelle had like basically disabled her active I don't know even know what it's called, but the active thing in Facebook Messenger. So Facebook Messenger is a chat program, and by default, at the top it'll say like if you're active or not. And then by doing that, it lets other people know like, if you're available to talk or not, and all kinds of different things, like you can tell at night if somebody went to bed, in the morning if somebody's already awake, so that way you're not bothering them and stuff like that. Monday night she had Logan, or at some point on Monday, she must have changed it, but Monday night she had Logan, and I noticed like she it was blank, her active status, and I was like, oh, usually it'll say like, oh, inactive for 40 minutes or something, and you're like, okay, well they're busy. So now it's just blank, and I don't know why. I don't know what that is. It's been a couple days, and I was like, well, maybe it's like a weird setting, like a fluke. Sometimes, Messenger says you're active, you're not active, or vice versa. But so last night I messaged her because she was staying up late. Her dad and stepmom were driving in, and they were supposed to get in at like 10:30. So it was like about 10:30, and I was like, hey, are you still awake? And she didn't tell me good night. And I was like, did you like make a change or something? Like, I'm like, I can't tell if you're active, so I don't know if you're still awake or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, I changed a bunch of settings, so I probably did change that. And I was like, huh. So that's another one of my sources of anxiety all week. But like, I hope this doesn't make me sound like an asshole just saying this, but when you're in a relationship with somebody and you trust somebody, you have various tools that you use to make sure everything's good, especially if you don't get or have much other feedback elsewise. And one of those was that. You know, that way I know, like, you know, she tells her she's going to bed, I know she's not up all night messaging somebody else or talking to somebody else. That's at least on Messenger. So obviously she could be doing that shit through text message or something. But, so that's kind of why my heart is weighing heavy, because I know she's a good girl, and like for these last 3 months or so that we've been together, you know, she doesn't stay up late, and she doesn't, you know, she's not up in the middle of the night, you know, active and stuff like that. But we're past that comfort stage. So, you know, the lovey-dovey stage wore off, and now we're in the grind. So now is like the time to, you know, start looking for something or some, you know, whatever. Ultimately, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You know, like, I should trust her, and I do. And she should have good judgment and all that to just tell me what's going on in her life. But why hide it? Why obfuscate it? So I'm not sure if that's something that I just ask her, or something that I just let go. My big problem with this relationship, I guess you could say, is that she still has so many walls up, and we're still being secretive, and we don't see each other that much, and I don't like that. You know, I've been kind of wrestling with it and like trying not to admit it, because, you know, I don't want to sound like a needy bitch and all this stuff, but we're in a new relationship, man. If this is how it is only 3 months in, I don't know. So those are kind of like my biggest things that are going on, and I'm just trying to figure out, okay, so what's she doing? You know, what's the deal with that? Is somebody bothering her? Somebody messing with her, so she disabled it so that way that person can't see if she's active or whatever? Like, did she have to block somebody? There's two sides of the coin. One is, you know, try not to read into these stupid little things too much, but at the same time, you know, being in IT and the computers and the programming and all that, I know that we're creatures of habit, and when we deviate from our normal patterns, you know, that means something, or it's important, and it's important to pay attention to those sort of things, so that way you can, you know, I don't know, guys. Just guess I'll give it some time, maybe before I bring it up or something, and see what's going on. Like, I don't understand. You know, she doesn't have many followers on Instagram. She doesn't have that many Facebook friends. She has a few people that'll text her, but I have a little faith in this situation. So that's it. That's kind of the last little secret thing that's been bothering me this week. Maybe now that I've talked about it, I'll feel better. And it's stuff like this why people like completely quit social media. It's the little games and the little mind fucks and little issues and the trolls and the meme stuff and all that, where they just shut all that off and disconnect. Hey, what's going on, guys? I am on my lunch break. I just went to go tanning. and he said I have to wait like another 20 minutes or so. So I am headed to probably make a trip to Walmart, I'm thinking, and then I can run some errands and stuff in the meantime rather than just sitting idle waiting. You know, I kind of made a realization this morning that I need to focus on good things. So this anxiety and all that, I mean, it is what it is, but I can't keep focusing on negative stuff and worrying about what everyone else is doing, what Rochelle's doing when I'm not with her, what's you know, what everyone else is worrying about, what people talk about, and all that type of stuff, and all the haters and the shit talking type stuff. I can't be focusing on that stuff. I mean, I've always been a huge proponent of the law of attraction, and I know that if I focus on the bad stuff, more bad stuff is going to happen or come or materialize, or I should say manifest. So I need to change my mindset, change my perspective of thinking of things and all that. So, you know, with the Rochelle situation, I need to enjoy the time that we do spend together versus worrying about trying to spend more time or wanting more time. So I need to look at it just differently. So whatever she does when we're not together, that's kind of her thing, and that's on her. Now, yeah. So that's that for in terms of that issue. The storage locker, I think that's a huge thorn in my side. You know, I it's basically a time capsule from the worst period of my life, and I just need to put my head down, dig through the fucking thing, and get it done. And I think once I get that done, that'll be a huge portion of me letting go of the past. You know, that's my feeling. We'll see. We'll see if things change, but you know, I need to sit down, maybe revisit my vision boards that I created 5+ years ago, and see what I've accomplished and what I still have yet to accomplish. And I know some of the stuff on my vision board I've obtained or done. You know, the car thing, the Audi. Originally I wanted a Subaru, but I got something better. I got that Audi, and I tricked it out, and I did it, and I completed it how I wanted, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So that was one of my goals. I have a few other goals on my vision board that I don't think I've really talked about my vision boards in the past, but I'll have to dig them out. I think I know where they're at in the basement, and just check them out and start working towards what I want and revise the vision board. You know, I mean, things change. I've done some of the things already, so let's move those off and move some new things on, some new goals and aspirations. And you know, I need to keep doing what I do, because that's what makes me happy. It's like when I'm worrying about everyone else and dealing with what everyone else talks about or wants or thinks that you know, everyone else has their opinion on my life, but that's all it is. It shouldn't really weigh that heavy. You know, I take all feedback constructively, but outside of that, man, I gotta, you know, keep moving forward. I'm doing good things. I really am. You know, I kind of fell into this rut over the last couple months that, you know, Rochelle is not the kind of woman that, what's the term? Like, she doesn't, like, stroke people's egos. She is more constructive versus maybe supportive, I guess you could say. And I've never been with somebody like that. So, you know, having that missing from my life, like, she doesn't really have any interest in my hobbies and passions. She doesn't understand them. And, you know, I don't think I, like, make her proud or anything like that. And technically, because everything's still so secretive, we're not even, it's as if I'm not even her man. So I need to, I guess you could say I need to act accordingly. So I need to not be so committed to her when she's not, fully committed to me. And I've done that in the past with her. This is kind of how we got together, was I had to do this. And it's not going to be easy or fun. I'm not really wanting to play games, but this is, I don't want to say this is a game, this is the reality of the situation. I can't continue to make things be more serious or more important or whatever than they literally are. I mean, we got nothing really to go off of. So I need to get back into having fun, having a good time, and maybe she'll come around. Whatever. If not, then I know. And that was the whole point of this entire thing, was to find out and know for sure. So in the future, I have no regrets. And yeah, that's literally what it comes down to. So I'm headed to Walmart now. I'm gonna go try to pick up a few things for Grant, maybe some clothes for me or something. I don't know. I got paid this morning. I got my car payment coming out tomorrow. It's like $430 fucking dollars. And then I only have I want to get Grant some new jammies and stuff like that, and maybe some new shorts and all that type of stuff. So, and if I can, maybe some new sandals and things like that. Those hiking sandals I was talking about. I was actually going to order those or try to get some through Amazon. But so I'm going to focus on this sort of stuff. And you know what? I think I'm going to try to focus more on, getting things that Grant and I need versus stupid shit to spend my money on. And do things to save money. Cut back on range costs and all that stuff. I love shooting my 9s and all that, but even shooting steel case 9 is 15 cents a round. If I can shoot the 22 all day at 9 or 10 cents a round, why not? What am I? I can still work on the same fundamentals and all that as the 9, except I don't need to shell out all the cash. I mean, it's what it comes down to, right? I want to just shoot regardless of what I'm shooting. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just I need to get focused again, recenter myself, refocus and all that. So I talked to a couple coworkers this morning, and they helped give me some they helped kind of calm my nerves a little bit and give me enlighten me a little bit and stuff. They gave me some generic advice and all that, but kind of like how a mystic or a psychic would be. They give you a generic thing, and then you interpret it yourself internally to your situation. But I'm thinking tomorrow I should bring my video camera to the range and film some more footage, because that's something that I really, really wanted to do. And right now at least that's important to me. So I'm gonna focus on what I want to do and build something that I'd be proud of. So, and that's what I've done in the past. That car YouTube channel, it's still a really big hit, because I would get into the super fine details and all that type of stuff. So I'm going to pursue that and look more into that and try to figure out how to make this next chapter of my life bearable for me and fun and enjoyable. So that's all I got for now, guys. I am in a better place than I was this morning, and all that I can say is I really am going to enjoy that week with Grant. Regardless of Rochelle and Logan being there. I need that. I need this. So I'm excited. I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm bringing my cameras, bringing my video cameras, my vlog camera, all that type of shit. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. So, yeah, I guess I'll cut this short. So I got all the files off of the bad hard drive and moved them to the brand new replacement hard drive. Let me cut this clip. I copied over some like new files and stuff from my previous hard drive to the new hard drive, and I don't know, I guess you could just say that I've been, slowly working towards getting this new hard drive up and running. I think I've come to the conclusion that I have to buy that Iron Wolf hard drive whether I can afford it or not. If I fucking lose my data, I'm done. If I lose my backups and all that type of stuff, I'm fucked. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet, so to speak, and just do it and then pay for it. So that's all I can say. This is important to me. So that's why I built the NAS and all that, and cut off having a crash plan and all that stuff. Instead of paying somebody else, I'm just doing it myself. But that's it, guys. I'm getting a little bit of a headache. I think I'm getting hungry. But yeah, so stay tuned for more. Alright, guys, so this week keeps getting better and better, and that's some very thick sarcasm. Grant's mom messaged me and said, hey, Grant got his yearbook today and lost it before he could get home. So, and then she said, do you want me to ground him? Okay. So I immediately emailed the teacher and said, hey, if you come across an extra yearbook or something left around, Grant lost his. So then I started asking more questions. I'm like, does he know like a rough idea where he may have lost it? Like, was it on the bus or what? Or did he have it when he got to the bus? And she's like, yeah, he lost it on the bus. I'm like, great, cool, thanks for the details. So I emailed the teacher back and said, never mind, it was lost on the bus. So Grant's mom's like, well, Mr. Mason, the bus driver, I hope he has it. And then she's like, do you want me to ground him? I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, have Grant give me a call. So after like 5-10 minutes, he calls me, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm like, Grant, what bus do you ride? What's your bus driver name? All that stuff. I'm like, calm down, it was an accident, it's all right, And I said, let me see what I can do. So I called the bus barn. They paged the guy. I said, well, you know what? The bus is returned, and he's already gone for the day. So they're going to leave a note or a message for that bus driver, because tomorrow's the last day of school. I was like, cool, thank you. So then I call him back and tell his mom, like, I couldn't get through, but I left a message, all this stuff. So then, we're talking and this and that. I'm like, you know what? It's ridiculous that he'll remember to bring back and forth his Pokemon cards, but not like this yearbook. That's, impossible or damn hard to replace. You know what I mean? More expensive, of course. And she's like, oh, he didn't bring his Pokemon cards today, but he did come back with some. I'm like, what? She's like, oh yeah, and they even came like in this nice case with sleeves and stuff and blah blah blah. And I'm like, where did he get that from? And she's like, I don't know. He said somebody let him borrow it. I'm like, okay, well, like who? Like, he gave me a name. I'm like, all right, listen. I'm like, she's like not taking care of business. Like, I'm like, all right, here's what you need to do. Figure out what kid supposedly let him borrow it. Figure out what class that kid is in, if he's even in Grant's class or not. And then take a picture of all the shit that Grant brought back, whatever, however many cards, pieces, parts, whatever it is, and email his teacher tonight and say, listen, Grant said so-and-so from this class let him borrow this shit. Here's all of the stuff. Can you please make sure this kid gets it back tomorrow? Tomorrow's the last day of school. So, I was talking to Grant's mom, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I just get this feeling sometimes that he's like ganking stuff or whatever, like, you gotta be careful with that shit, he's at that age. And she's like, oh yeah, he has sticky fingers. I'm like, what? She's like, oh yeah, Logan lost a tooth the one time and got a special silver dollar in a case, and Grant stole it, and I found it in like his baseball bag. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So, and then she was telling me like a few different other things that like he's taken, or he just has like all these little trinket toys and stuff that he just comes across or finds or probably steals. I'm like, dude, you gotta pay more attention to this shit. Like, this is a big fucking deal. I'm like, you know, I did that shit at that age. Every kid goes through that, you know, especially with sibling rivalry and stuff. Like, she's like, oh yeah, he'll always take like Logan's stuff first or use Logan's stuff first before his own. And I'm just like, dude, like, you gotta nip this shit in the bud, man. Fuck. So you know, yesterday there was a situation where Grant's mom's husband was yelling at Grant's mom yesterday, and now today Grant's mom is yelling at Grant, and I'm just at my wit's end with this week. This week has just been a fucking emotional fucking mind fuck. And I do you want me to ground him after we're done talking? Like, all said and done, she still goes back to like, well, should I ground him? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's not my weekend with him. I don't know what the fuck you're going after doing with this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it was a genuine accident. I mean, accidents happen. I kind of wish his mom would have been more level-headed and called the bus barn immediately and sorted it out versus, you know, just snapping on him. But I didn't know until she told me just tonight or just today with this same phone call that he's lost or left a few things on the bus. So, like, this isn't like a first-time thing. And that's why she's, like, really mad at him or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like, you got, like, the whole story, you know? I get, like, the tiny little pinhead of a needle of anything from her and him. Grant can't remember anything. I don't know if he's lying all the time, but he's been like that for 4 years. Where he's like, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. Like, he'll get, like a mark or a bruise or something, and he says he can't even remember. So if that's not memorable, then I don't know what the fuck is. So fucking crazy, dude. Just absolutely nuts. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just been a week. And you know, I'm tired, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to say or do, but her just keeping, you know, she just kept asking me like, hey, do you want me to ground him? And I'm like, what is your deal? Like, it was an accident. Like, you already lit him up. He was crying when he called me. So, like, I don't see how that's gonna do much of anything. So yeah, that's the latest news. You know, I kind of made a comment to his mom. I said, you know, this has just been a rough week for me. I'm like, you know, going 3 weekends in a row without seeing Grant, I can't take it anymore. And all she said, she didn't say like, yeah, I know it's tough or anything. No, she just said, well, you get him for a full week for vacation. You're gonna have him for a full week soon. I'm like, cool, thanks. Yeah, I'm like, you know, haven't seen him in almost a month, very much. But you know, I get him for a week. That's cool, thanks. And she's like, well, you know, the way the holidays work out towards the end of the year, you'll have them for like 3 weekends in a row. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. Whatever. Yeah. Nice compassion. See you out there. Alright. So I am leaving Luke's house right now, and we got the second to last wedding that we just shot done, and I got it all in their box here, and a piece of paper is the timeline for Saturday's wedding, and we're looking good. So we only have one more wedding on the table in terms of editing, and then we will add another wedding after Saturday. So Saturday is going to be kind of brutal. So we're on the clock from noon until 10. And it's about an hour and 40-minute drive away. And Luke wants me to come and pick him up. So that's 40 minutes to his house. And then an hour and 40 to the venue. And then an hour and 40 back. And then 40 minutes back home. So we're looking at... I don't know, what is that, 4 to 5 hours of driving on Saturday? That's going to be brutal. Oh, there's geese walking across the road with their babies. Aw. Hopefully they make it. Yeah, they're good. What else is happening? So we had our client timeline meeting call tonight. That was to just finalize and go over the basics for the timeline for Saturday. So that's all locked in. That's final. That's good. The consultation that we were supposed to have tonight was canceled. They said they booked somebody else. And it's about 8:30 now, so I'm getting home a little earlier than I expected. But I'm tired, dude. So it'll be nice. I'm gonna start packing and all that type of stuff for the trip. And I don't know. I might just sit on my ass for an hour tonight and watch some TV or something. I'm fucking. It's gonna be a brutal weekend. You know, I was talking to Luke, and he worked all last weekend between his day job and his contractor jobs and all that. And then this weekend, it's gonna be the same. So I'm taking off work tomorrow for the concert, but we got a long day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going and doing some contractor work at a new place that he signed up with. And that's not really major, but it's going to be an early morning on Sunday. So Luke's working tomorrow, his day job. Saturday, he's doing photography with me. That's going to be like a 16-hour day with commuting. Saturday, and then Sunday is his contractor job, so he's doing all 3 jobs this weekend, and then Monday is day job again. So man, I hope he doesn't get burned out. I think he's good. I know the money's good, dude. Like that's what I was all about when I was in my 20s, dude. So I was working overtime and holidays and weekends and nights and shift differential and holiday pay and all that shit. And that's like how I paid for my house, like the down payment, or actually it was 0 down payment, but I had to, pay for everything else. So sweat equity stuff and paint and trim and all that shit. So concrete work and bushes and all of that came out of my pocket. Yeah, not quite looking forward to having to go through all that again and do all that. But alright guys, so I am headed home, and I'm going to crank up some tunage and get the Fushnikins out of here. So yeah, stay tuned for more.